when did you start playing?
Well, I started playing at 10 years old.
It's guys, he's got this great little setup. But as you can see, he's got like a very classic. How close are you think to getting the number one? Right, hi everyone. Tonight I've got a little bit different, something we haven't done yet. I've knew this player for a long time, but something we haven't done on the channel yet is cover the World Disability Tour, or the WDBS as it's known. And I've got someone who very close to my heart. I've known him for a long time, and that would be Ryan Pinnington.
Hi.
How are you, Ryan?
I'm really
good.
good.
Okay, say hello to the camera, Ryan.
Hi guys,
I know you're feeling the pinch a little bit tonight, aren't you? It'll do you good in the long run.
Yeah,
It's all you know, you come out the other side, you'll be fine. And so Ryan's feeling it a little bit tonight because he's sort of in the spotlight and he's not, you know, there isn't much bravado about Ryan. But why I wanted him on is because, well, it was, I mean, when did you start playing?
Well, I started playing at 10 years old.
Yeah,
but I came to you when I was 13, 14.
Yeah, it must have been,
so
yeah. I knew you'd been playing for a while.
Played for a while on just a little club table in St. Teresa's in the church. And then I heard of Tommy, a whole friend of yours. Yeah. And
the late, great.
Yeah, we weren't going to come. We was just going to keep playing. And my dad just ended up saying, sod it, we'll come. And that's where our journey started, wasn't it?
It was. And the thing with Ryan, it's good that you've reminded me about the times there and how old you were and things like that, because it's not many of you. It's hard to remember exactly what age. And when Ryan came, absolutely, again, we've been so lucky with the personalities that we have in some of these players and how they're being brought up, everything. So all these quality boy. And he was doing, as soon as he come, he was a delight to be around, to train and everything. And what I wanted you to see tonight was his setup more than anything. I think you're feeling a little bit tight with your queuing tonight because of this.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
It's, as I say, it'll be a good experience for you.
Of course.
But I wanted him on, and I wanted you to see his setup, because basically, who did I always say you set up like? Stevie Davis. Yes, the one and only.
Oh.
So, and you'll see why when we hit some balls. But you know, just before we do, there's a few things transpired since you came to us. You've done really well. You won. You were the youngest to win open tournament in one of the leagues. What?
Yeah.
The CMS.
The CMS Liverpool.
Yeah. So that was great, wasn't it? And everything. And then you started knocking more breaks in. You were doing well when you were in our program.
Yeah.
And then there come a point where he was improving, but like with a lot of players, maybe not moving on to that next level where he was really starting to knock loads of tons in and things like that. You get this all the time. It's only one in God knows how many knock 1 ton in. But so it's no surprise. But his setup and his queuing was that good that you would almost expect more from him. I think Mikey fell into that category at first as well, Mikey Roberts. But then, do you know, his demeanour was changing a little bit at the time, and basically, you hadn't been diagnosed, had you, for autism?
No.
And I think things had got you at one point. That was affecting your snooker as well as everything else, which is completely understandable.
Yeah.
It'd be the same for anyone, wouldn't it? But then you did get diagnosed. When was that?
It was 2023, October.
So it wasn't even that long ago, was it? But it made everything, I remember you telling me everything seemed to make a lot more sense then about the way you were feeling and things.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's almost like a relief, I suppose, isn't it? That you've got some
and it makes
some
so
sense
much
that you can
and I can bring that into my game now, and it's it's all linked up lovely, and it all really does make sense, and I can use that now for myself and how to combat and how to help with my ability really, because there's been some days where I just haven't been able to hack it, and like everyone else really, but I've got a few more tools to combat all that now. And
So that's brilliant, isn't it?
It's great to have it.
And because you qualify, you know, he's now on the, as I say, he's on the World Disability Tour, and right, you haven't won a tournament yet, and the standard's quite high. It's but in your section, what section is it?
It's a good group. It's Group 6B.
6B.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some very good players in it, isn't it? I think Matt's doing well. Hi, Matt. Matt Haslam is doing really well at the moment.
Yeah.
And but for someone who's finding the feet in that, you've got into 3 finals all of a sudden. You're like you're the new player on the block in that, aren't you? And then all of a sudden, you've been in 3 finals, and you've lost out in the last. Were you 2-0 up in one of them?
One of them was 2-0 up, and the other was 2-1 up recently. So they were really close matches.
Yeah,
for the 3 of them.
So I mean, you've done really well just to do that. But so Ryan's aiming for. I mean, what are you aiming for?
Obviously, I'm aiming for number 1. I've come into here, knowing my ability. If I do play really well on those weekends, long weekends. So if I'm consistent with it, I could get the win. It's just I haven't got that recipe just yet. No,
well, I think you have. It's just it's got to be on the. We're gonna hit some balls now, but it's on the day for you, because it's already been that while you were finding your feet. So it's fine. But I'd just like us to just hit a few balls. Just to give, it's more I want you to see his setup. Try and get through the ball smoothly, and do yourself a little bit of justice there. But it's more the way you set up right here that I want to see. It's guys, he's got this great little setup here. Well, show everyone, because I'm dead proud of you with it.
Thank you.
And it looks even better when you've got all your gear on, of course, doesn't it?
Feels amazing as well.
But go on, let's see you. Get down and play your shot. And don't worry if I'm putting you off or anything. But as you can see, he's got like a very classic. He's got a very classic sort of, modern classic, I call it. It's set up, and when he's cueing really well, it's really nice on the eye. Okay. Okay, nice one, right? I'm just going to pull it over there so everyone can see you using the rest.
It's a bit of bite on this table, isn't
it? Yeah, it is. It's very responsive, isn't it?
It's a lovely table.
How close are you, do you think, to getting the number 1 spot? Because obviously you're going to have to focus on winning some tournaments first, getting over that hurdle mentally to win some tournaments.
The way the system
that would be a bit more of a predictable route to getting the number 1, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I know consistency gets you there.
Yeah.
But surely you're going to have to win some of them.
There's going to be a few, I think. I think there's going to be like 4 or 5 wins to get up there, because Matty's always getting to the latter stages. You need to be beating the top 2 or 3.
And I suppose also you came into it late as well, so you're still catching up. It's like a pro coming in late in the season sort of thing, isn't it? Of course, he's not going to have his true ranking.
No.
But you do have these 1 and 2 year periods where everyone's starting again, surely.
So that 2-year period starts again in January, basically. So it's like it's virtually every year, but the 2 years before that, that season's points for every player on tour gets taken off. So essentially, whatever they racked up that season gets knocked off, and they have to try and earn those points back. Okay, so when you start hitting some balls again, but if you miss, don't worry if you miss, because I'm in your ear. But when is it a level playing field?
where you're concerned, where your ranking is concerned, where it would be deemed,
So basically,
fair and a fair reflection of where you are.
So
Whereas it isn't at the moment, is it? Because
No.
you haven't played in as many tournaments as
no,
most of the players.
it works out about like maybe 2 years of being on tour, roughly, depending on how well you do. Theoretically, if you win every comp for like 2 years, you're up there then in like the top 2 or top 3 maybe. But that means that you've got to win every comp. It's like there's only like 4 comps in a season,
Right.
so it's not really.
Isn't it great though, right? All this, and this is the thing about the WDBS. And if any of you are listening, guys, it's absolutely, doesn't need me to tell you, but I've witnessed some of the work that you do. It's very, very humble. And when I've been before you got involved, and you carry on, right? But when I've been with some of the lads a few years ago, I think that they hadn't long started it then. This could have been 6 or 7 years ago. And it's very humble and experienced, fantastic what they're doing. And there's more and more categories that have been built since, so it shows the fairness and the success of the whole thing. But it's lots of respect for what they've done. And look at the likes of yourself. You're going to be a #1 in the world and a world champion.
Yeah.
So, and you're not the only one, because there's a few categories, as I say, isn't it? So, world champion, world #1 sounds fantastic, doesn't it? I hope I'm looking at a future one.
Let's hope so.
Do you know?
Yeah, because
it's really good.
Because it's only been about a season I've been on fully, and I'm 6th at the minute, and I'm only like, I'm like 27,000 points, and at the top's about like 80,000 points. But it depends with those 2 years and stuff. So theoretically, in the next 2 years, if I knuckle down and do well,
well, if you keep doing, but you're #6 officially.
Officially,
but again, that's only because you started late, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And right, just so you can
do.
But so you're not really 6th in my mind.
No.
You seem like you've been top 2.
Yeah.
For the while. You don't get to 3 finals out of just playing a few, and it means you're #6. It's just not the case, is it?
No.
But what I want to know as well, again, you just carry on.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do to get there? Because you've had this like feeling out. Again, don't worry if I put you off.
It's okay.
You've had this feeling out period where you know what it's all about now.
Mm-hmm.
And while you were doing that, you've done really well. What are you going to do to take it on?
Well, I'm going to be working more on the practice side of things too. So a lot of like playing in Scotties, but mainly in the Northwest Snooker Academy. There. I've got a membership over there now. It's quite easy. It's just a monthly membership, and I can go in whenever I want. And
there's star tables as well, aren't they? You've got 4 star tables in the Northwest Snooker Academy.
Yeah. And
so you've got like you've got all the benefits that Scotties brings and everything else. And you've also got some real focus stuff that you can do in there.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
And then alongside that too, I've got a few competitions I can go into, like open series around the Northwest, and I just try and make myself available for every comp that I can go into to help me develop, because in the past I've went to comps in Oldham and stuff like that, and I've played like ex-pros and a few really top amateurs, and I'm getting beat by these guys, but you can tell coming out of it, it's making me such a better player.
Yeah,
I'm playing better snooker,
and that's what it's all about. It's about self-improvement,
exactly,
isn't it?
It is.
And if anything like that, you walk out better. Again, you do it exactly, and it comes back for you when you're in your your ranking tournaments that we're talking about now.
Exactly.
So you've got that for you. You know what to do. You're going to keep pushing on. Just before we start winding this down, right? It's been great having you. Yeah. So before we start winding down, I must say, obviously, it's been great having you here.
Yeah.
What would anything you'd like to say? I mean, for me, I know your parents and everything. Leslie, Paul, hi. And how fantastic and supportive they've been to you. Is anything you'd like to say now? Because they're going to be, they're going to be very proud watching this. I know what they're like.
Definitely.
Anything you'd like to add to today?
The thing is, with my mum and dad, like, they're proud of me no matter what I do, and that's like all I could ask of mum and dad. But thanks for everything you guys have done for me through my journey in snooker. It's been amazing, and also to yourself, Neil, like everything you've done along.
Who, me?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm putting you up now, Neil, but no, honestly, you've been amazing. Like, on and off the table, it's always been a pleasure to have you as a coach, but like sort of feels like a friend or two. And it's that bond. It's helped me massively in snooker too.
It goes both ways, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I really appreciate what you've said, but you get back out of what you put in and all that business, and you're lovely, lad.
Thank you very much.
Again, we're getting all emotional there, the mission blacks off the spots. But
I know.
I think to round this off, in fact, we'll come over there. We'll come a bit closer to the. In fact, no, we won't. You're going to finish with a pot. We're not finishing with that black pot, and then we'll make our way over there. So, I hope that's give everyone a little bit of a sort of feel for this. This is a WDBS player going for world #1, World Championship and everything. And I think it also signifies the level of competition in these tournaments. No one letting anything stop them. Really, really good endeavours where they're not letting anything stand in the way, and they're entering tournaments, and it's all taken very seriously, isn't it? I mean, yes, you've met a lot of good friends there, haven't you?
Yeah.
You all want to win, don't you?
I know. But the standard there, like, as soon as I went there, you can just tell there's some really good standard, like Sir David Church and Thomas, and all in the same group.
It's
some top players.
It's fantastic
and stuff.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Like,
so it's really good. So you've got a little bit more of a feel for that. You're the first WDBS player we've ever had, so that isn't gonna.
Thank you very much.
Happen again. There can only be one, can't be?
Yes.
And you're it. But it's just nice to highlight this sort of thing. We're gonna do more in this area as we go along. But Ryan, it's again been a pleasure. Keep going after what you're going after. That's all I could say to you. Don't tread water in any way.
No.
You're in it now. You might as well be all in.
It's all there.
It's one of them, isn't it? You go abroad to play these tournaments. They play all over Europe.
All over Europe, Belgium coming up in the new year and stuff. I've just been to Ireland, so it's all really amazing experience too, to experience different countries and see all different players and competitions and how everything's set up. It's a great experience. It's like a bit life-changing, to be honest.
Isn't that good? Isn't that good to be able to say that?
It's amazing.
It's not just snooker, is it? No. As much as we're saying you've got to win, it's not just snooker.
No.
And everything. But again, I think a lot of people have got the association to thank for all this, because someone started it somewhere and they've turned it into all this, haven't they? And it's fantastic. And some of the guys I've met there, they're, really good people. So anyway, you've got that one out the way. We'll get you on again, whether you're #1 or not. But try your best.
I will.
And we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Keep a lookout for Ryan. As you can see, he's a really tidy cubist, and he's only going to get better. And again, like, subscribe, all that, and we'll see you again in the next one.